Hello, my name is Alex Parsons Moore, and I'm Director of Achievement for Wide Horizons at Nicholas Chamberlain School. I'm also the Careers Leader. So, the presentation that I'm sharing with you today is on Year 9 options and, in particular, making choices for the future. So, the first thing to say is that choosing options can often seem like a daunting process. For example, what if you choose the wrong thing or that you don't like the subject you've chosen? Well, I'm here to reassure you that basically there is nothing to worry about, just so long as you follow some simple advice. And I hope that this presentation will be useful in making you think about the option choices that you're going to make. Right, the first thing to say then with regard to GCSEs and their equivalent are that they are level 2 qualifications. A levels, for example, are level 3 qualifications. They're designed to be broad in nature and to give students a flavour of what they could study in more detail in sixth form and beyond. Now, some of these qualifications are academic, whilst others are vocational. In other words, they've got a job in mind. So, health and social care is an example of this. You're going to have a choice of both when you look at your options. Now, it goes without saying that some subjects are compulsory, and I'm sure that you're aware of those. Those are things like maths, English, and science. Other subjects are optional, and they're optional because they provide you with an opportunity to study something that you might have an interest in. So, the big question is how you should choose an option subject. Well, there's some rules that you need to follow. The first thing is that you've got to have an interest in the subject. The second thing is that if you've previously done well in that subject, then it's probably a good subject to take. The third thing is that you know that it fits into your future plans. If you've got a career in mind or a university course, etc., then you may well know that that's a subject that would be useful to have. The last thing is that you know what the subject will involve. Now, that's particularly important for those subjects that you may not have studied before. So, whilst it might sound an interesting subject, you really do need to find out what that subject is going to involve. It's also a good idea to ask the same question for subjects that you have studied, but you might need to know a little bit more about what you'll cover in GCSE. Okay, so the opposite side of how to choose an option subject is how not to choose an option subject. Well, it goes without saying that you shouldn't choose an option subject just because your friends are doing it. They may have got good reasons for choosing that option, but just because they happen to be in the class doesn't make it a good subject for you. The second thing is that you shouldn't choose a subject because you like the teacher who's taught you previously. You don't know whether you're going to get that teacher at GCSE, and so you've got to take that into consideration. The third comment is basically choosing a subject where you don't know what it is, but it sounds interesting. Whilst that could be a good thing, you really do need to find out more about the subject if you intend to take it at GCSE. Right, the last thing that you should remember is that GCSEs are a gateway to study other things. You may look at the options and say, well, I wish I had more choice. But most jobs and university courses won't expect you to have specific subjects. There are one or two jobs and university courses which will, and those are things like being a doctor, where they will expect you to have minimum levels of qualifications and, for example, all three sciences. But for most other jobs, most other university courses, they will expect you to have a broad range of subjects and good levels of qualifications. So, the final thing I'm going to say is that no option choice is a bad one, just so long as you make a good decision about why you want to take it.